my trigger was the sun coming up in the morning.
Right.
I had to hit the wine and then drink the liquor, and it was an everyday deal for me. And it was almost as if it was I couldn't go without it. It became a dependent. And
All right, everybody, welcome back to our podcast. Today, I'm sitting with some clients, soon to be alumni, Eric and Mario. How you doing today, guys?
doing great.
Good, doing good. Our channel exists to tell you about the work that we do here, but also to let the clients share their stories and get a head start on sharing their testimony and just sharing how their lives have changed since getting in recovery or getting back into recovery. So whatever platform you're watching this on, give us a like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It really helps us to get it out to a wider audience and more people. So I would greatly appreciate that. Today, we're going to be talking about life. We're going to be talking about recovery. We're going to be talking about addiction. We're going to be talking about in the trenches. I mean, we're just going to have a conversation and see what happens. I did give you guys some questions to think about to kind of show you where we were trying to take this thing to. So first off, I haven't ever really shared my story on any of these podcasts before. So any of the viewers might be like, well, he always interviews these other people, but I don't know what he's about. So my name's Dalton, and I struggled with addiction in my past. I was a young alcoholic. Started in my teens, and it became almost an everyday thing by the time I was in high school. Couldn't play sports because of an injury, multiple injuries, and didn't really fit in with the nerds. I wasn't a smart kid. So I didn't feel like I really had a place. And I started hanging out with some older friends. And when you're 14, 15, doing what the 18, 19-year-olds are doing, well, not doing what you ought to be doing at that age. So by the time I got in high school, I was pretty seasoned at drinking and partying. So I said, well, I can't be the sports guy, I can't be the smart guy, so I'm gonna be the party guy. And that's the route I chose to take, and it didn't do me no good. One of the things we're going to talk about is what has your addiction benefited you, or what has it added to your life? And for me, I can honestly say nothing. It just took away. And right when I was about to turn 21, the night before my sister's wedding, I got in a car crash, leaving the bar with this girl. Anyway, she flipped the car, didn't make it to where we were going. I broke my neck, my leg, dislocated my hip, had another head injury during that accident. So, a couple weeks after that, I was in rehab, learning how to walk again, learning how to operate that neck brace, and I couldn't get up to go to the bathroom one night. Everybody had already left, mom, dad, friends, wasn't nobody there. I had to get up and go pee. And being about to be 21, supposed to be a man, right? Supposed to be a man by that time. And couldn't even get up and go use the restroom by myself. And that was the moment for me. I was like, all right, enough's enough. I'm gonna end up killing myself. I'm gonna end up killing somebody else. I just pretty much destroyed the biggest day of my sister's life on her wedding day. So I knew then that it was time for me to get it together. So that's kind of where my journey and all this started at. Not long after that, I got introduced to Vinny, Boss Man, and I started building the wilderness program. Got my Christian counseling certification, and been with him for over a decade now. So I know this is where God's called me to be. This is my field. This is where I'm supposed to do my work at. You know, some people are called to go to a church or go overseas, or just be a good plumber or a good electrician, or everybody's got their different thing. I know this is my thing. So tell me a little bit about y'all. Mario, you go ahead.
Um, I started also, like going to a little bit of parties around high school, but it wasn't that bad. Not then, but it wasn't until like my early 20s, mid, like 20 to 25, to where I started drinking a little bit heavier. And, I thought it was all right. Didn't find any problems with it. But as I got older, with like getting to my 30s, I started, just drinking pretty heavy, started like not thinking it was anything, nothing was wrong, not an addiction, nothing like that, even though people around me saw. Oh, yeah. Oh, and I started drinking real heavy, and I wasn't even thinking, like I said, that it was a problem or anything. And it just got so bad to where I just couldn't get up without it. I would wake up shaking, convulsing, not feeling good at all until I got another drink in me. And then once I got a drink in me, I was okay. But it just continued until about a couple of years ago, where it got really bad, to where I was having to, instead of just drinking beer wasn't cut anymore. So I started drinking whiskey, and it went from drinking a few beers and a little bit of whiskey to finishing like 25 ounces and like a handle. And it just kept going like that. And I slowly got worse and worse and feeling worse. And it's causing problems with my family, my friends. I wasn't even go out anymore because I just felt so bad. And by the time I was feeling good enough to go out, I wouldn't be able to drive. So I couldn't go anywhere, and I'd have to cancel plans left and right. And everybody saw it but me.
Yeah.
And it just started taking me to like a spiral downward real quick, real fast. And I was using a lot of money on it too, that I could have been using somewhere else. But I just didn't see the problem until, like it got so bad that it like I just couldn't function. Functioning without it wasn't a realistic thing, because I would get the shakes, I would start convulsing, I would be vomiting, I would have the cold sweats, hot sweats. It didn't matter. I would be cold and hot same time. I couldn't control it unless I had a drink. So started looking around, and I found this place, and it just was something I felt I needed to do. And also, I just was like, it's really not helping me at all in my life. It's not doing anything but causing problems. I really saw no positives in it other than whenever I first started drinking, because at least, I could hide the feelings I had, forget about bills, forget about uh, people getting angry at me, and, doing things I shouldn't have been doing at that time. Like, there was no benefit to me at all with it.
Yeah, alcohol. That was gonna be my next question. So continue thinking on that one, and I'm gonna come back to you. Um, Eric, Moses, Frank, got multiple names here. Um, where did your addiction start, man?
Mine's similar to you. It started as a young kid. My dad was a heavy drinker, and he was he was my idol, and looked up to him. But I remember my first drink started when I could barely see over the back seat of the car.
Yeah,
And as far as like with him drinking, I just thought that's what men did. So as I grew up, I didn't really drink anything, or we drank occasionally with my dad. Just as he would settle us down, we'd be quiet, we wouldn't giggle and carry on in the back seat, and we just drank quite a bit um, for an 8-year-old. Um,
Hmm.
and then I would say probably around 14, 15, started smoking marijuana, and then that just kind of led to other drugs. And I was a little bit slow in school, slow to learn, and I just felt different. So I then started drinking quite a bit, doing most of your drugs that were out there at the time. And by the time I was 15, I'd gone through quite a bit of uh, street drugs, and drank like fish. And got into high school, drank, and then I was able to quit for a while, and got married, did great, had a great job. Everything was going fine, and then all of a sudden I started having, I guess, panic attacks. And so I
You
picked,
you ever have panic attacks before? They just started right then.
well, it was the first time that I actually was able to put a label on
Okay.
what I was feeling. It was overwhelming, and I just was paralyzed by it. And so I picked up a drink, and I started drinking. And from that point forward, I mean, I just hammer down on it, and it seemed to at first really be all right, and then I started losing jobs, and I went through a series of very good jobs. My It just got full blown, and then lost my marriage, lost my jobs, lost my inhibition to do anything,
Mm.
and found myself all alone in the trailer, killing myself basically. I mean, I would drink from the time I woke up. I'd drink on the job. I'd drink nonstop, and I was drinking whiskey, and it got to where I couldn't even walk to the bathroom. Uh, I couldn't walk on a sidewalk. Uh, Definitely couldn't drive. Got a DWI. Ran into a pole, a telephone pole, utility pole, and I think those were signs that I needed help. And I was slowly dying, and I knew that I tried several times to quit drinking on my own, and I would just get extremely sick. And I knew at that point I needed to reach out and get help.
Right. And that brings us into our next little topic of discussion, and that is, what did alcohol, or for those that are drug addicts, we're one and the same, guys. Um, Definitely one and the same. Alcohol is a drug, no matter if it's legal or not. So, what did alcohol bring to your life? And I told you earlier, for me, I can't name one thing uh, that it really brought me that was good. What about you, Mario?
Well, like I would agree with you too that it didn't bring anything for me, like any joy, anything that I thought it was joy, and I thought I was like happy at the time, but I wasn't. I was just hiding it in a bottle. Like I would just drink and feel better and forget about everything, and it would feel all right. And then realizing that it wasn't doing me any good, like it definitely did not bring anything but negative outcomes. Like almost every time I would drink, there would always be something going wrong. So I just figured that one of the only good things that actually came out of it was finding hidden notes coming here. But that would be the only positive I would say about that, because I mean I lost, also lost jobs, lost friends, some family. It was just a lot, and it was no good to me at all.
A lot of times we say for us in addiction that you know we have to go through that stuff to really wake up. Some people have to lose the job, some people have to lose the family, some people have to lose a connection with their kids to really see the effects that alcohol is having on their lives. But we do know that it is a problem before that. At any time we look at our lives, and our our craving for a drink, our craving for a drug, our love for it is becoming something we put more value on than our family, our job. We don't have to get to the point every time of being at the very bottom, losing jobs, losing friends. We don't have to let it go to that point before we see there's a problem. But I think we push that problem off, and we rationalize it, we justify it. Well, I'm going to work. The kids are fed, the wife's happy, so I'm going to reward myself. It's just a little drink. You feel that, Eric?
Yes, sir. I can relate to both of you, but it came to where it created total chaos in my life, and it got to where I couldn't. I mean, we talk about triggers, hunting, fishing, um, barbecuing, or what have you, but my trigger was the sun coming up in the morning.
Right.
I had to hit the wine and then drank the liquor, and it was an everyday deal for me, and it was almost as if it was I couldn't go without it. It became a dependent, and my body was craving it so bad that I was getting the shakes, and um, I had wreaked havoc on my life. And I started just after my DWI, I got two accidents after that with no license. Ran into the pole. It was just the writing was on the wall that I needed help, and I'd lost hope that I could ever get help. And alcohol in my life was the worst thing that I could have picked up. I believe it destroyed my life. Um, I'm all alone now, as far as living alone, and I've never done that. And alcohol put me in that position to where I could go through that. And um, luckily I've got this place and my family to support, and I'm grateful for that.
Amen. Eric, where have you grown since going to Hidden Oaks, since coming to Hidden Oaks? Where have you grown at in your life?
Well, I believe it's, coming to Hidden Notes, I'd spent 24 hours, less than 24 hours, and then I found myself in the hospital, and I was strapped down to the bed, hallucinating. Um, I was intubated twice, stayed a week in the hospital, and I thought I was in a shed somewhere and was just in a bad spot, bad spot. And I called Hidden Notes back once I got my mind right enough to call, and asked if I could come back, and they greeted me with open arms and came in and jumped right into group and started working on the program. And my life has changed because I think, I've been in and out of rehabs in the past, and this place, this is the first time I'd actually done it for myself. I wasn't doing it for my wife, wasn't doing it for my job, wasn't doing it for anybody else but myself. And I opened my ears to everything, and this place has brought me in touch with reality, given me hope, uh, given me the tools that I need to move forward and face the challenges that I face. As far as making good decisions, and giving me an outlet to express the way I feel and go through my emotions, to know uh, know that I can do this. And um, I just have to take the steps, like they say, take baby steps, and set your goals low, and then build it up to your target. And this place has opened my eyes to all that, and I'm grateful for that. It's because I never looked at it that way.
Well, for me, I mean, before I came here, like I would say the last couple of years, I was drinking, I'd say, at least 750 of whiskey on top of about 6 to 8, depending on how many times I went to the store, tall boys. And like, I just kept seeing myself falling more and more, and I I made a decision to, come here because I was vomiting all the time. Like I couldn't hold anything down, liquids and nothing like that at all. It just had gotten to the point to where me and my family would go to a restaurant and all that, and I'd like pay for the food and only take a few bites. So I realized I needed to make a change. So I was looking up online other places and getting calls, and all of a sudden in the little corner in my phone, I saw Hidden Oaks and clicked on it, and it didn't work. So I went ahead on the laptop and got on it, and right away I get a call from Alice and the staff here, and they called me. They were patient with me. I even put it off a few times, well, 3 times for sure. But they still would call and see if I was ready to come by. So I decided to come here, and got here and started doing the work. I was really bad in the beginning. But again, I still couldn't hold down liquids. I couldn't even finish a bowl of chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, I didn't see you for like 3 days.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
when
for
you got
sure.
here.
I was just in the room, holed up, and one thing I say that I always remember, there was an exit sign right in front of my door that would be glowing red in the dark room. And at first I thought, I was like, man, it's doing what I want to do because I didn't want to be here. It was like telling me to exit, and I was all like, man, maybe it's a sign to leave. But then I realized and thought more about it. It was like, get out your room, you go out there, go do a group. And I was like, you know what, that might be it. And sure enough, I'll go out there, and everybody was nice, and it was a good, calm talk. And hearing everybody's stories, like, made me feel more comfortable and everything. I started sharing, and the more I would share, the better I felt, and I enjoyed that. And next thing I know, I'm over here. I know they talk about mind, body, spirit for their Hidden Notes as the what's we call it, the slogan.
Yeah.
So I just slowly found myself just um getting back to normal, like feeling better, thinking clearer, part of the mind. And then I started taking walks slowly, and but surely, and
Got
trying to
you
get
in
my
there
body
working
right.
out.
Yeah, and then next thing I know, I'm working out, lifting weights, like doing stuff I hadn't done since high school, doing squats and bench and everything that I thought I was, not gonna ever be able to do. Because I never thought I would be able to feel good without the alcohol. And then I started reading the Bible a little bit, just a little bit here and there. And then Eric gave me a awesome little book that I started reading, before I started reading the Bible. And next thing I know, I have Dalton baptizing me here. And that was one of the biggest things I ever did. Not my family, my friends would have never thought ever that I would do that. And then like I realized I was like I've taken care of my mind, taking care of my body now, and I'm like my spirit is lifted now. Like I'm reading the Bible and doing things I never thought I would be able to do, and things that I would never be able to do again. And coming here, the staff and everybody was supportive to help me get to where I'm right now, and I feel great. I feel way better. Like ever since getting here, I've definitely grown in all those ways with my relationship with my kids, with my wife, with my father, even.
Yeah. What do you want people to learn from your story?
I would encourage more than anything. Like I said earlier, I've been through several rehabs, and it, for me, they seemed institutionalized. They seemed very, you know, rule driven type place. And you know, if anything that I'm passionate about is that I picked the right place for me, and because it's truly you feel a part of the family when you come here. And I mean, you eat well. When you ask staff for something, if you have a need for anything, it happens right away. You by far are the most important thing when you come here. I know you feel alone out there. Um, if you feel alone, this is a place to feel loved and cared for. It was just it, the way that this place is designed is for us to feel that love and to feel uh, safe enough to open up and to accept that we have a problem. And you'll find that a lot of people here are in the same boat that you are. And I would truly, without a doubt, encourage you to make the decision to come. And I'm not just it's just amazing what this place is. And I couldn't need it all, everything from the love to the food, the the gym, the everything, and I feel certain that um they love me and they care about me here.
Are you still going to the gym?
Oh, I will. I try to
Oh, I
I'm
will.
letting him kind of catch up. So
You let me do my part and his part as well.
Oh yeah, you're working out for both of y'all.
Hmm.
I was getting too big. So.
Getting too big. Got to calm down a little bit.
You'll start not to fit through the doorway.
Yeah. You gotta watch Eric, man. Mario, what do you want people to know about your story? What do you want them to learn from it?
Well, I mean, I want y'all to not feel like you're alone because I felt like I was alone. I felt like I was the only one going through this, and I didn't want to talk to anybody because I felt like I couldn't. I felt like it was just me doing it all by myself. But, like coming here, it just made such a change in my life. It's been a huge change. Like Eric said, the food's great, got a nice gym, and a fishing pond that I love walking to every day before and after lunch and dinner. And it's just a good place. The nature is really calm, soothing. You're out here in the middle of nowhere, which is great. And yeah, there's other people like you, me here, like you, similar stories. Like we talk about it in group and everything. And no matter which addiction you have, they all end in the same way. Like it's the same different stories, but it all ends up in the addiction that we can like take care of here.
It's like
Loving.
helping with my resume. I mean, I was paralyzed in trying to fix a resume. They helped me with
Yeah.
my resume. They, filled out.
Doctor's appointments,
Yeah,
therapist appointments.
exactly.
Like they got us ready to get like to be back out there, and they give us all the tools and the groups, everything. It's very informative for everything.
Yeah, and they, it's like you set us up for success when we get out. I mean, when you get out, you've got interviews set up, you've got the resumes done. They want to make sure that you're squared away when you walk out of here. You've got everything taken care of. It's just if you feel alone or you're out there and you feel like you have no hope and you're lost, make a decision, invest in yourself because you are important. And best thing you can do is invest in your personal health and your mental health. And I would recommend this place for sure.
Yeah, like you're not alone in this. Like there's plenty of people to help you, and it's just a good place. Like I said,
Sound like we're a
mind, body,
commercial.
spirit. Yep.
Sound like a
Well,
commercial for
the
Hidden Notes, but I
mind,
mean,
body, spirit. Yeah.
it is what it is. I mean, it's different than anything I've been through. I've been through 5 rehabs, and I really feel that I don't want to let myself down. I don't want to let the people here down. It's like they're my family, and I feel very strong that I've made the right step.
I know it's like some people are afraid or feel too prideful, but it's all right to let your guard down every once in a while. And this place will teach you plenty on that, and then they'll build you up, give you like things that you never thought you could have again, confidence, like the ability to just be able to go out and do things that you either that you didn't do or that you used to do, and you can get back into those. Like I'm back into painting, drawing, lifting weights, running, jogging, like so many things. And like a new thing for me was spiritually was getting closer to God, reading the Bible. The baptism was a huge thing for me. It was life changing to me.
We can give you a good place to start here. We can give you a good foundation to build on, but you're not going to learn everything you need to know about life and recovery and addiction in
Hmm.
30 days, 60 days,
90
even 90
days.
days. You got to continue that growth when you get out of here. Whatever avenue you want to do that in, CRAA, smart recovery, just going to church and getting plugged in, just being a part of the community, you being a family man again, whatever it's going to be. Um, and you got to don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Hmm.
Vinny tells that story in one of his groups about a woman who put all her eggs into the working out basket.
So
But
yeah, I
y'all
remember
remember
that.
that? But then when an injury happens, or a car wreck happens, something bad happens, and
Right.
and you get knocked out of the gym and you can't work out, and that's your
Surgery or
only
something like that.
outlet. You
Yeah.
got a surgery. If that gets taken away from you and you ain't got no other coping skills, well, you can fall back
Yeah.
right back to where you were.
Easily.
So you gotta have multiple avenues, multiple outlets, things that are keeping you grounded. Don't put all your eggs into one basket.
Right.
We can't teach you everything in 30 days. We can give you that foundation, but you got to keep growing once you leave here.
Yeah, and they'll help with that too. Like help find AA groups close to you or online. You know, all that stuff. It's pretty. IOP is one of the things too. Like we can do it online. I'm just glad that they helped me with all that too, because there's always a group around somewhere.
Right.
There's
Yeah.
always a different place to go. If you don't like one, try another one. You don't have to just stick with one of them. There's multiple options.
Yeah. And I'll give you guys my pastor's advice. He said, if you're looking for a church, and we can even put it into the context of if you're looking for a meeting or anything of that nature, go a couple times, go 2 or 3 times before you just write it off. Because you could go one week and they're having, say it's a holiday, they're having something special. Well, you're not getting the normalcy. You're not getting what usually happens. Or say like with church, for instance, maybe like our church, we just got done with VBS. So that week after VBS, it's a little different. We do things a little different. So always give it 2 or 3 weeks to really sit in that meeting and see, does it click? Does it not? Is this where I'm supposed to be? Because it's easy to just go one time and say, oh, I didn't feel it. It didn't click
Yeah.
with me. And then we can get in a habit of doing that and just jump from meeting to meeting to meeting and say, oh, I don't fit in with these people. I didn't really gain nothing out of that. But you gotta you gotta give it a chance.
Gotta be open minded.
Some
You gotta be open
yeah
minded.
time.
Open minded is something that I wasn't. before. I mean, I shunned everything and anybody that was sober or even pushed me to be sober. But like many people, I get to a certain step in AA, and it may be finding a sponsor, or it may be a step where I have to really dig in and go to work, and I'll just it's not for me. It's not for me. But it's something that I want to be able to just be open minded and give it a chance. And I always said that I wasn't like these people, but I'm definitely like these
Yeah.
people.
I think we all say that at one point.
Right, right.
Whether you go into it, the more you find out about yourself.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Figure out just how sick we really are.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys. Well, I think that about wraps us up for today. So thank you guys for coming on and sharing your story, and um, just telling us about how you've grown and the help that you've gotten at Hidden Oaks. And I'm just excited for you guys, and um, you guys are local pretty much, so I'll be seeing you around and
Yeah,
keeping up with
definitely.
y'all, making sure y'all are doing what you're supposed to be doing. If not, I'll get you in line.
Yep.
To all our viewers, thank you for watching. Thank you for checking this out. I hope this helps you in some way. If you're struggling with drugs and alcohol, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can get us at 469-614-8407. You can look us up. Go to our website, resolutionshealthcare.com. We got blogs. We got all these videos on there. Just a plethora of things to help you on your way. But for real, reach out to us if you or someone you love is needing help, needing treatment. Do it before it's too late. Like I was saying a little bit ago, we don't have to wait till we hit the very bottom. When you see yourself slipping back into those old ways, when you see yourself start taking a couple drinks, a couple pills here and there, reach back out. Don't go crashing. Don't crash all the way down before you reach out for help.
That's
Definitely.
Hit that like, share, subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one.